There's a lot we can learn from the recent South African election, even though their constitution is different from ours, but there is a lot we can learn. You'll find that Julius Malema, whenever he used to hold campaign meetings, the multitude of people used to attend. But did those people translate into votes? No. That is a problem that we have been having in Kenya, whereby to date, since the reintroduction of multi-party, we have only had one person standing up, calling a press conference and conceding defeat, and even congratulating the winner. That was Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta in the year 2002. If you look at the 1997 general election, there was no concessionary. 2002 there was. 2007, no. 2013, no. 2017, no. 2022, no. And even maybe 2027, no. In Kenya, in the part of Africa I come from, it has become concessionary is now associated with the name rigging. If you ask any person for any position, even an MCA, you ask him how was the election, instead of him telling you that he lost, you find that he says, I was rigged out. That is normal in Kenya. There is even this sister of mine, in the primary school where she's registered, 100 people did not vote for her, but she has taken her case up to the East African Court of Justice, saying that elections were rigged. How can they be rigged if in the polling station that you voted in, you did not even raise 100 voters? So I know of another brother, an elder brother, who, when it reached the time for voting, when he came out of his house, at the gate, he found so many supporters. They cheered him. He went on a snail pace to the polling station. He voted, of course, for himself. When they were going, you see, if you are not registered voter in a polling station, you are not in a polling center, you're not supposed to enter that place during that day. So these people escorted him. When they escorted him, they reached the gate. He entered. When he entered, some journalists asked them, why don't you go and vote for him? He said, no. Have you not been seeing his public meetings and whatever? He will win. And once he votes, we know he is going. The only way you can be sure your person will pass is go and mark properly, so that it is not disputed or something. That is the only way you can make sure your person wins. Now, the lesson that Malema has taught us in this South African election is that crowds in stadiums don't translate to votes. However, many keyboards warriors, if you look at their fingers 24 hours after voting, you'll find that they didn't vote. And they're the ones who will shout out and say, Kimeibwa, Kimeibwa. That is one lesson Malema has taught us. And it is not too late to learn a lesson. The other lesson is he has taught us that a few hours ago, he offered his concessionary speech. That one in Kenya, it has only been heard of once, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So I think we should pick up from there. Another thing that I have observed, and I usually like to talk before it happens, if you look at the voting pattern, for the first time, South Africa has gotten, ANC has gotten less than 50% or will get less than 50%. What happens? It will enter into a coalition. Now, if you look at the coalition, if you look at the voting pattern, there is this former leader of ANC Youth Wing, Julius Malema, with his economic front. Look at Jacob Zuma, former South Africa president. He has come up with his Umkhonto Wesizwe. And if you look properly, Umkhonto Wesizwe and Economic Freedom Party, they have eaten into the ANC vote. Now, will Inkatha Freedom Party, hey, those are parties. We have some parties in Kenya, kama KANU. If you are to tell somebody who is 18 years, kuna chama kinaitwa KANU, just like one day, if you tell South African that there is a party called Inkatha Freedom, Inkatha used to give ANC headache, but nowadays it's just a paper party like KANU in Kenya. That is Inkatha Freedom Fund. So what is happening is that these two parties, Umkhonto Wesizwe and EFF, have eaten into ANC. I don't see ANC join. You know, ANC has 51, and the Democratic Alliance, which is associated with former colonialists, have about 41. Those two joining hands will form a super majority. But their differences is so historical that I do not see ANC joining Democratic Alliance. It is not. It is okay. In politics, expect everything, because here in Kenya, you start hearing rumors, kidogo, handshake. But I don't see them joining hands. It is quite possible. It's quite possible that ANC will now turn to the renegade ANCs who have gone away. They will run to either Umkhonto Wesizwe, or they are going to join Economic Freedom Party, or even both. So it will be a coalition of 2 or 3 parties. But what will happen? If you look closely at the alphabet of ABCD of these two, Umkhonto Wesizwe and Economic Freedom Party, they hate Cyril Ramaphosa. They hate Cyril Ramaphosa. In fact, I would not be shocked if they say that they don't have a problem with ANC, but they have a problem with Cyril Ramaphosa. So it is quite possible that one or both will join into a coalition with ANC on one condition. Okay, there is a condition that ANC will provide the president, and the deputy president will come from the second, or if there is even a third, they will talk. Because if they are to go for one party, let's say they go for Umkhonto Wesizwe, they'll say the ANC supplies president and Umkhonto Wesizwe supplies deputy president. Or if they were to go for Economic Freedom Party, they would say Economic Freedom Party offers the deputy president and ANC offers it. So you'll see, I know recently I would not be shocked if Kenyan ODM have issues with Malema because of what he talked. But let us look at it this way. Supposing, and I'm liking this system of talking before it happened, so that when it happens, I said, I told you so. Supposing they approach Economic Freedom Party, Of course, Economic Freedom Party will produce the deputy president. And who is the deputy president? Malema, Julius Malema. Or if they have to choose, Umkhonto Wesizwe. But as we talk now, Umkhonto Wesizwe, there is a leadership problem. As we talk now, Jacob Zuma claims that he's the leader of what? And then Jabulani claims that he is the leader of that. But if they can solve that, then obviously Jacob Zuma will not be the deputy president because of his criminal activity and so and so. So if they approach Umkhonto Wesizwe, it is most likely that Jabulani would be taken in as the deputy president. But there is something here. I'm trying you to get the point. If ANC approaches the two, one or both the two, there is one condition that Umkhonto Wesizwe will place on the table. And the same condition will be placed there by Economic Freedom Party, is that you see, they have 14 days to go. So within the 14 days, they have to agree. And they will just say that if you want to form a coalition with us, make sure that ANC offers somebody else apart from Cyril Ramaphosa as the president. You offer anybody you have. I don't know the name of the deputy president. Maybe the deputy president now will be the president, but his deputy president will now come from either of the two. That is the condition they have. Because you'll find that Umkhonto Wesizwe and Economic Freedom Party, they have no issues with the ANC. They have issues with the Cyril Ramaphosa. And if they have to place there any condition, they would, to me, I see they can even agree. Not even, okay, they say ANC, you can have the presidency. ANC, you can have the deputy president. You can do whatever you want. But Cyril Ramaphosa should not be there. That is the major condition. Viewers, ours is to observe and see what happens.